Welcome back to you, Pumpkin. You by now have seen there are 2 videos I have released. Part 1, the Dark Curse Prophecy with a skull here to signify dark and evil. And I have just put on my hoodie right now. I know you can't see it, but I put on my hoodie to signify the darkness. We also have the Friendship and Kindness Prophecy. Yay! So we have 2 scenarios drawn out. This video is just going to quickly explain to you some of the teething issues, the grease in the oil and everything coming together and meshing together, because there are going to be pro and cons to both of them, and there are going to be counter arguments that people will present. And trust me, every night I go to sleep for those 30 minutes, I think about these, and unfortunately, none of the ace of spades cards thrown out can save us. So the biggest one that most people will say, which is very easy, is they'll say the Bitcoin BlackRock ETF will push Bitcoin above 100K minimum because we are now tapping into $100 trillion plus of potential, or $10 trillion, and we're just going to put in a lot of money. Here's the problem. The problem is we can both be right. So yes, the BlackRock Bitcoin ETF can scam us first, then scam us down. Then the government can really pack their bags, and in the midst of this turmoil down here, in this early bear market, they can introduce deeper, darker, stricter regulations. The government can then control the IMF, the evil overlords, the evil scum. They can go to these second and third world countries. They can go to El Salvador. They can try to clamp and stamp their feet, stamp on the necks of everybody and say, don't you dare move off the US dollar, or we are going to tippity-tapper you and bitch slap you. That's what can happen. And that is exactly what you and I would do if we were in a position of power to be these evil scum snakes. And I'm going to have to do a snake emoji here. I know a lot of people get very violent reactions when I put a snake emoji here, just to signify they're deep, dark, and powerful. So do you see? We can both win. So they push us up. They scam us down. They use this scam down part because now they have the political will. They have the large amount of people, the majority of the population, they have bought the top and they got destroyed. Now they will beg for regulation. They'll say, okay, how many passports do you want to scan from me? Yes, I will introduce, please give me the CBDC. Please, let's make this crypto better. What they don't know is they would be squashing their own necks in the future. And then we can go to 100K. But guess what? The government's already packed. They can then control the price of Bitcoin even more in the future because you give them all the power here. And you might say, well, what do you mean give them all the power? I thought Bitcoin, you can't make any more Bitcoin. Yeah, that's true. But let me tell you something right now. This is something that you're going to have to hear from the Gold Maxis, okay? The Gold Maxis know first-hand experience what it's like to get destroyed and manipulated by the price of gold. They use it through the paper ETF. The BlackRock ETF, they will be able to do things, friends. They have they have plan A, B, and C. So if they can't get what they want, or the regulation in here, all they can do is BlackRock owns all the Bitcoin. They can start to try to morph the political opinion and try to even fork the Bitcoin network. They can do that. It's crazy, right? Like, just imagine BlackRock has majority of the users and majority of the money. They can just say, oh, we're going to go use a different one. Like, they can do anything. And guess what? This is the sad part, friends. They don't even have to win. All they have to do, let's go through this scenario. They don't even have to win, friends. Please. This is hard to hear, but you're going to have to hear it. All they have to do is send out the rumor that they're going to do this and people will sell. Okay? They don't even need to succeed. I'm sorry, but people are weak. Many people are cowards. They're scum. They are toilet paper hands. Yes, we're going to get the toilet paper emoji right now. And we're going to do a hand emoji right after it too. Right, just signify it's going to be some hands emoji here. Yes, look, we are the people. I love you. You are my community. But the weak hands who are going to be buying when the snakes tell them to buy, they're cucks. They're all soy drinkers. Every single one of them. You know what type of people they are? They bend over. They bend over no lube. These people are going to hand over every single one of their rights. We made crypto so that they don't need this system, and then they're going to go beg for it again. The problem is, now we've hit a critical mass, and now these people are large in number. Right now, they're only like 10%. They're the FTX people. By the way, FTX only had like 10% of the market cap of the dominance, okay? But in the next wave, the FTX equivalent scam might be like 40%. You can't ignore that. It's too big. Do you now see why all of my theories and how I talk about how crypto cycle plays out? I always talk about the cycle getting bigger and more people and harder to push up. Now you get to see why. This is the end game. This is why everybody's actually just Roger Ver's exit liquidity, tongue in cheek, right? So for everybody who bought Bitcoin early, now we're hitting the Laggards skepticism part, friends. This is how it's all playing out. This has nothing to do with like what we think. This is just it. We're going to bring back this mainstream, the crypto adoption cycle, right? This is the technology one. We're now in the Laggards and the Skeptics. They got everybody in. Who's Laggards and Skeptics? It's mum and dad. It's people who don't like taking risks. They're in the 401k. They're in the superannuation if you're in Australia. Shout out to everybody. That's what we're talking about here. It has nothing to do with, has absolutely nothing to do with, put it all out like this. It almost seems like it's just destined for it to happen this way. So this is what you have to understand. So yes, I've got a dark curse prophecy and I've got a friendship prophecy. I don't know what's going to play out. I don't know how lucky we're going to be. I would also like to now move on to another part that I've spoken about in my very early videos, friends. It's about how markets truly move. So there is a scenario that is in the friendship prophecy camp, and that's because when markets give you pain and destruction, they tend to reward you with friendship and kindness. This is what happens in markets. So, I mean, before we even continue with crypto, I'm just going to show you, have you heard of something called the stock market? Do you see how we had, look at this. So the stock market does this all the time. So the stock market, this was the internet tech boom. Do you see how it went up? Then everybody had to pay for their sins. But you see this period, this was GFC. This was, you had 9/11 and the stocks, tech stocks crashed on 9/11. You see these? So you have these disgusting box and you have the GFC. But look what happens after that. Because of this lost decade of pain, because of that, up only. Literally up only. Okay. So we have up only. We have all these maybe slowdowns. So I remember here, this was the US debt downgrade. It was a fake out. We had China. Everybody thought China was getting to a recession here. It was a fake out. We had Donald Trump election. Everyone thought World War III didn't happen. It was a fake out. We had the zombie virus. Didn't happen. It was a fake out. Do you see all of these? Like, it's like God just kept throwing you a bone. It's like, hello, you've gone through so much pain for this 10-year period. I will now show you some friendship and kindness. So markets do this. They do have a tendency to do this. But I don't want you to really believe and rely on it. Because when you do, it's very easy to just get into the trap of, okay, well, I went through some pain, therefore give me this. Because it's very hard for you to objectively measure because you're in with me. We're long already. Okay? We don't know what objective pain is. So here's the thing. We might go back in the previous bear market, see our Bitcoin here's 84%. Altcoins went minus 99%. Literally total decimation. We still have altcoins around. Now, they're not down 99%. Some of them are down like 90%, but they're kind of still around. Like it's not super, super, super bad. It's only super bad, which is still bad. So this is where you might have to say, well, sure, our Bitcoin bull market was the worst return ever and we got cut early. But also, we didn't all go to zero. This is what we might conclude in the future. So this is why it's super hard to value this. This is why you like, subscribe, press the belly button and all. Here I am giving you this kindness and friendship. So when you look at this cycle, it's possible. You might say, okay, this is a negative. This is a minus sign for a negative because they cut off our bull market. We never went to 100K. Everybody got scammed. But then you might say, okay, but we recovered off the lows and we're going up only from the lows. So it's a positive, right? You might say that balances out. So I'm not the omnipotent, the creator to be able to give you the final answer, and no one will be able to. We just have to be we have to be honest with ourselves and say, well, where do we actually think this thing is heading? And from what I see right now, yes, the bulls, the friendship prophecy, the bulls, we do have that in our camp. It is possible that this cycle was so trash that the amount of weak hands rinsed was so good that now when we do go up, we might go up and just go to like 180, 200K. And when you look back, you go, well, there you go. That 2021 cycle, that was really, really bad. So we got thrown a bit of a bone in the 2025 top one, And what do we mean by even throw you a bone? Well, see, this is another part where it could be where you see this crypto bull market. You see how we just go up only like that? That's possible. All right, we don't get this stop because if you look at the Bitcoin halving, so this is a full year of just going up only. This is 2017. All right, but this was also being dragged up because Ethereum got created. So then again, you have something else to add to the camp. We need that crypto tech invention to be added. Now, a lot of these moving parts are coming out. That's why I really do believe, I'm telling you right now, my bones, okay, ain't a single trader going to outperform buy and hold in the long term. Of course, they're going to have it in 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. Can I tell you something, right? You're going to, please, friends, I am going to request for you to let me tell you something right now. You go back and listen to every single stock market, hedge fund, guru guy and go look at all the track records, go look at all the awards and all the great ones. You'll find the very common pattern. You'll find that over a 20-year spectrum, there are people who did really good in this like year 3 to 6 or year 7 to 12 or just these 2-year period. Oh, this guy crushed the GFC. But guess what happens? For those people, if you move to the left of their time frame and you move to the right, so this guy, he was trash before and he's trash after. And then you move to this guy, he was trash before and he was trash after. Every single person. And each winner, each person here is a different person each time. It's a different person. It's a different approach. It's like someone who's mega bear. There was one guy who went super long on bonds for like 20 years, right? So I know this. And that's why I have full confidence to tell you right now, no one's going to outperform crypto and what it's going to do on the upside. No one by their day trading. Ain't a single one. They're going to try, flick it in your face. They're going to say they're great. They're going to disappear. And you know how I know this? Because in the next 24 to 48 months, 2 to 4 years, check on Twitter, check on YouTube. There's going to be a new round of influencers. There's going to be a new round of popular people. There's going to be just a new breed of people. This is what happens over time. It even happened to Warren Buffett, okay? Just things change. The puzzle pieces change, right? So now I'm going to move on to the final piece. And the final grease between the wheels when it comes to, are we going to get the dark curse scenario or are we going to get the friendship prophecy scenario? It's going to do with money printing. And you can basically neutralize what happens in money printing. And this is why. It's because you can sit here and tell me they're going to print money and we're going to go to the moon. And you'd be fantastically correct. But here's the problem. The problem is we already did that and we didn't go infinitely up to the moon. They did infinite QE and they put rates to 0 in the zombie virus. Bitcoin didn't even hit $100,000. We should have 30,000 reasons to hit $100,000 in that previous cycle, but we didn't. That is telling you there is something sickly about this. You could say puppet master. You could say China scam dumping. You could say the cosmos, aliens, God, right? Shaitan himself. Doesn't matter. We didn't get it. So we have to sit here and just look at through the honest lens and go, what the hell, man? We had every single reason to hit 100K and we didn't. What's going on? Well, if you watch my videos, which you are watching, thank you for liking, subscribing, press the belly button and all. It's Metcalfe's law. Bitcoin has 100 million people holding it right now. Yes. So what you can think about is the fact that Bitcoin went up and did this cycle already. It was everybody, the network effect, pricing in all the money printing already. So now we come to the laggards of the technology because remember, Bitcoin is the first instrument of blockchain. It's money. Money is the application. And Andreas Antonopoulos made a video about it. He said, like, the first application of blockchain is money. It's our first one, right? So Bitcoin's meant to be a pure money, which it is, meant to hedge against money supply. But you've had 14 years of people buying it off this. 14 years, friends. 14 years. So, yeah, this is the truth. The truth is Bitcoin's done its job. It's done its job. So, sorry, me and you didn't get to buy in the first 4 years. It did its job. It now is a protection. It's not a wealth generation thing. It's a slightly better money hedge thing than everything else. It was wealth creation back here. We are not here anymore. We're in the laggards. We're now in the Peter Schiff zone. We're now in the Bitcoin ETF zone. So that's the truth, man. They did and look, the truth is, if what I'm saying was wrong, then we should have hit 100K in this cycle. They did infinite money printing. If money printing was all it required, money printing and rates going to zero, the disrespect of fiat, if that was enough to send us to 100K, it should have been, but it wasn't. So now you can see it was because Bitcoin has 100 million people, okay? So to get a 4x in price, we need to add an extra 100 million people. How big does that look? So of course, if you go and watch any other Bitcoin Maxi, they're not going to tell you this. What they're going to say is they're going to draw this. They're going to draw this big curve and they're going to say, we're only 100 million people here. They'll say, you are here. You always see this chart. You are here. You are here. Every single coin they've been doing this. You are here. Oh my God, look where we are, friends. Yay, friendship and kindness. Not so fast. You are here. Well, they're always going to say, this is suitable for the whole world. We still have billions of people on board. Of course, they're going to say that. But you can say that about anything. Anything and everything, friends. I don't think so, man. I don't think that after 14 years and everybody heard about it, that this is it. There's no smart contracts on Bitcoin. There's no Ponzi degen casinos on Bitcoin that are worthy of anything. Yeah, there's ordinals and people are just trying to do some breadcrumbs. This thing is taking a long time for Bitcoin. So you got to price the whole crypto industry as that, because crypto is blockchain. So all the money hedging, the scarcity stuff of Bitcoin, it's in crypto's total market cap. Now, this is where you're just going to have to sit here and say, okay, now that you've seen everything and you've seen this lens, what can we actually do? Well, I'll mention this in my previous videos, friends. I've mentioned this in Dark Curse Prophecy and the Friendship Prophecy videos. The best part is we don't actually have to do anything different. We believe that this is the poopy zone, but the poopy zone is where you want to buy. Yes, you're swimming around in a poop, the sewer everywhere. This is where you buy. This is where you're super gig along. It's just that, luckily, you had a friend like me who has a straight back and fluffy slippers who's been telling you, please go as humanly hard as you could possibly go. You must thrust so hard in the direction of success and aggressiveness to collecting your crypto bags down here, because the only people, if my dark prophecy curse comes out, the only people who are going to win are the people who bought the bottom. There's no one in between. You might also believe that, hey, isn't it always like that? People who buy at the bottom always win? No, absolutely not. If you're early enough, you don't need that. Look at this. You could buy Bitcoin around here. You could buy Bitcoin here. You're not buying some sort of like bottom. You can buy it halfway along the run. Baby dolls, look at this. You could even buy it up here through the high. Look, it still went from here to the top. It still did you a freaking 19x. You are buying Bitcoin nowhere near the bottom. Look where you buy it, by the way. Look where you buy it. I'm going to bring it for you right now just so you have a true appreciation. Look at this. Look at the circle. You still made a 19x buying that? You remember, you make a 600x down here. 19x your money. Everybody in crypto right now, I mean, they'll take a 3x. That's how down we are. Do you see this? Do you see? See, if you're early enough, you get that. The absolute pump. You get the pump to the heavens. And this didn't just happen once. Have a look at this. In the next cycle, in the Bitcoin, in the Ethereum cycle, have a look at this. Look, if you bought Bitcoin all the way up to the top, and many people did, towards $1,000, you still made a 20x. You're not buying the low. You are literally watching it go 600% off the low. You're still buying it. And you are making a 20x from $1,000 here up to 20K. Yeah, you go. You're making 2,000%, 1,900%. That's ridiculous. Ridiculous. Do you honestly think, I mean, look how much you made if you bought when Bitcoin goes back and hits like 22K. You make your little 2.5x. Michael Saylor has to leverage buy everybody on top of you. It comes back down and look, you're offside now. You went offside. Everybody went offside. You're barely onside now. You're up 20% after all those years. So this is now where we have to look at the future. And you can see very clearly people who wait to buy at the excitement get absolutely destroyed beyond imagination now. So it is what it is. Buying in the depression for crypto in one cycle gave you 600x. In the next cycle gave you 100x. In the cycle after that, which was our one we just had, it gave you a 20x. That's a very, very, very low, right? What do you think it's going to give in this one? It's clearly diminishing down. So even with money printing, even while doing all this, it seems to me whether the dark curse prophecy plays out or the friendship prophecy or something in between, guess who wins? The depression zone buyers. People who are bulls. People who are brave, which is you, me, and all of our friends around us. Because we know that bulls poop in the open. We are brave. We are courageous. Okay? We're going to charge forward to the future with our friendship together. Like, subscribe, press the bell button, or tell mum and dad we got to be buying or we'll be crying. Catch you in the next one.